Today we're talking about the pros and cons of eXp Realty. One of the pros is the fact that you get to brand yourself personally. At eXp Realty, it is encouraged for you to promote your own personal brand. When you put your for sale signs up, you don't have to have the company logo this big and your name and phone number this big. You can put your name and your logo as big as you want, as long as you abide by the local jurisdictional bylaws for your area. One of the cons is that there is an ego risk to entertaining eXp Realty. What if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't work out for me personally? What if something happens? There's really no financial risk with eXp, but there is a perceived ego risk. When things are going really well for you personally, it's very difficult to stop and take a look and see maybe if there's something that you could be doing that can improve. Another one of the pros is the fact that we are all shareholders of the company here at eXp. One of the cons is that the stock price does go up and it does go down. I will say though that one of my favorite parts of the stock benefits here at eXp is the fact that with the agent equity plan, you're buying the stock every single month with 5% of your closings. So if the stock price goes up or the stock price goes down, you're cost averaging the stock on a regular basis, which is what I recommend you do if you're buying stock in any market, because it removes the risk from the equation and long term it's a much safer bet. One of the pros is that you get to tap into a world market, which means you're no longer limited to your own local market. Now, if you are in a market where your average commission is around $6,000, like where it is for me, I was always frustrated with the fact that there's agents in Vancouver, Toronto, etc. that have an average commission sometimes around $25,000. Now at eXp, I can now expand my business into markets like Toronto, Vancouver, and even international into the US and anywhere globally that eXp now operates as well. As a matter of fact, I do have partners all over Canada and into the US now as well. One of the cons, however, is that if you did decide to join eXp, even though I believe our compensation plan is better, a lot of times you have a real estate family at the company you currently work for. And as we know, it's a lot harder to leave a friendship or a family environment than it is to simply leave a company. So I don't take that lightly when I'm talking to agents about eXp. If you have a real estate family where you currently work, it is tough to leave that scenario. But what I did realize is that because this is truly a better business model, that I was serving my own family better by operating at this company. And the really cool thing is those friends that I have at the other companies that I worked for are sometimes agents that will eventually come and partner with me at eXp. But if we are truly friends, it really doesn't matter what company we work for. We're gonna be friends no matter what company we work for. Another one of the pros is the fact that we have multiple streams of income here at eXp. You have the opportunity to sponsor agents to our company and earn passive income long term that has 7 layers of revenue share through our compensation structure, as well as we have multiple different methods for you to earn stock awards here at eXp, which can create a nice retirement savings plan for you. One of the cons, however, is that you have to try to manage your time in production and agent attraction if you decide to have that become part of your strategy. However, I will say that the large majority of our agents, probably 90% of our agents, do not get involved in agent attraction activities. They simply like the opportunity to get involved and engaged when it works for them, maybe later in their career. But as an agent at eXp Realty, just for doing exactly the same as you would have done at any other company, you can earn stock awards for sales production and become a part of our agent equity plan and build for your retirement long term either way. Another one of the advantages through eXp Realty is the leverage that you can build through revenue share. Now, specifically in building a team, I operate a self-organized team, but if you are a team leader or you plan to someday become a team leader, the retention that we have built into our revenue share plan is exceptional, because if an agent outgrows your team because they're a successful top producing agent and they want to go on their own, you are now incentivized to help them build and grow their team. team through revenue share. As well, you have opportunities to collaborate with agents that aren't in your revenue sharing group. At eXp Realty, if you have somebody that you want to bring into your production team structure, instead of that agent paying the full $16,000 cap that we have at eXp, you can actually put them on an $8,000 cap here at eXp. What I found in talking with other companies when I was entertaining the idea of building a team was that it was always a challenge because the agent pays the brokerage directly and then also has to pay a team split. Here at eXp Realty, you only have a half cap for the agents that you put in your production team, which is a huge benefit. One of the cons for joining eXp is there will be change. Now, it really doesn't matter what company you move to. Anytime you move companies, there's gonna be change. And if you are a highly productive, successful agent, when you move from one company to another, sometimes there is a requirement of you to spend your time moving. And because this business, as far as sales production, is all built on momentum, if there's anything that's going to distract you or alter your momentum, that is genuinely somewhat of a risk. Although I will say two things. Number one, the payoff of making the move at eXp Realty is, in my mind, obviously well worth it. Of course, in my biased opinion, but I do genuinely believe that. However, if you move in the off season, somewhere closer to Christmas time or very early in the new year, it's very possible to do a seamless transition. And we do have teams here at eXp Realty that help with onboarding to make sure that if you are a highly successful agent, that you can partner with some other agents, or if you run a team, you can have some of your teammates move first and manage that transition with new upcoming transactions when you make that move to make it as smooth as possible. Another big pro for eXp Realty is the fact that we have a small monthly overhead fee, which is really great for top producers, and it's really great for lower producing agents and or brand new agents as well. So as a top producing agent, you have a low monthly overhead fee if you decide that you want to go on vacation, or if something happens in your family or in your life where you cannot work for a short period of time, something maybe bad happens in your life, it happens to all of us. It's a small monthly overhead fee. But for a top producer, we also have a $16,000 cap, which, as I'd mentioned before, it's not the highest cap, it's not the lowest cap, but if you want more information on eXp Realty fees, check out this video next. It's also really good for lower producing agents or newer agents because if you don't sell a house for the first 3 months that you're active in real estate, it's a small monthly overhead fee and you don't have to pay a heavy split in order to receive that low monthly overhead fee, as is the case in a lot of other real estate companies. One of the cons at eXp Realty is there will be a learning curve. Now, if you're switching to any company, there's going to be a learning curve, but at eXp Realty, we do things a little bit differently. We have our eXp World Cloud Campus Verbella environment that is very foreign. It is a very new concept to a lot of people. It's very easy for people to get overwhelmed when they look at that. But if you really simplify it, it's just one more tool for your tool belt, and you really don't have to spend a ton of time in there. As well, we use a variety of other tools and technology here at eXp. As an example, we use SkySlope. We also use KV Core. There's some of the systems we have that is required for you to implement and utilize. Another example is Workplace by Facebook. Now, even though that is a con that you need to go out and learn a bunch of new things in order to operate your business, it's actually a pro in the end because once you learn, you're going to realize your business is a whole heck of a lot more efficient. And again, don't get overwhelmed. If you did make the move to eXp Realty, get out and operate your business the same as you would otherwise, and then all of the rest of us here at eXp Realty are going to help you step by step with all of the details and logistics following through on your transaction to make sure everything lines up and falls into place very smoothly. Another one of the pros at eXp Realty is we have healthcare. In Canada, that is health and dental, which you don't have to qualify for. It's just something you opt into. In the United States, we also have healthcare benefits insurance that in many cases I've heard are thousands of dollars cheaper per year on premiums and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars cheaper on deductible for sometimes the same coverage or better healthcare coverage. So if you have questions about eXp Realty, feel free to click the link in my calendar and I'd be more than happy to share with you the details of our healthcare plan. Another one of the biggest pros is our training. We have 5 to 10 to 15 classes per week available in our eXp World Cloud campus. Now, one of the cons might be that is too much information. What do I do next? So that's the reason why it's important when you decide to partner with one of us at eXp Realty, you make sure that the person you're partnering with is able to point you in the right direction. That's what I'm here for. Whatever your goals are, we have systems in place. We have thousands and thousands of agents here at eXp Realty, and I feel 100% confident that within our network here at eXp Realty, there is literally no real estate problem that we cannot work together to help you solve. My job is to help point you in the right direction, to make sure that I can help find the answers to whatever your questions are regarding anything in real estate. And one of my favorites is the fear of missing out. That is probably the biggest con with eXp Realty. As a matter of fact, the biggest complaint that eXp Realty agents will complain about is the fact that they didn't join sooner. Now, that could be a pro or a con. It could be a pro if you joined early. It could be a con if you joined later. But let's face it, the opportunity in my mind is still better than any other company's opportunity. And the fact is, yes, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. But what's the next best time to plant a tree? Today, or maybe yesterday. And no matter what, the timing in your life doesn't always perfectly time the opportunities that you see. Timing in your life doesn't always perfectly time the market. And if you joined early, it might have been more difficult to attract agents because nobody's ever heard of eXp. If you join later, it might be a little more difficult to attract agents because the market is more saturated with agents. But the truth is, there's pros and cons to joining at any time at eXp. There's pros and cons to any real estate company. There's pros and cons to buying a house or selling a house in any time of year and or in any market. But at the end of the day, I believe that here at eXp Realty, we have the best opportunity that has ever existed for real estate agents. As a matter of fact, I believe that it's literally impossible for you to make more money at any other real estate company than you would be making if you were working at eXp Realty. And our compensation plan and the numbers backing it up can prove what I'm making claims to. So again, if you have questions about eXp Realty, click the link in the description below to book into my calendar. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on this video next. Have a fantastic day.